welcome to another League of Dracula, Fury of Dracula, Dracula extravaganza. This is going to be a game between AndreZot as Dracula and Arternum as the Hunters. Ooh. So without further ado, I'm Captain Gyro, and this is my co-host Pizza Wizard. You know him, you love him. Say hi to the nice folks at home, Pizza Wizard.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here. It's going to be an excellent game, I think. Even though they're using the Scott Sword start, which is terrible in every way, but I guess it's still going to be a good game. Oh, it's not even the Scott Sword start. It's oh no, it's superhero.
Oh yeah. Both inferior to the obviously far grander Pizza Wizard start.
Oh, now I'm curious to see whether Dracula start. I didn't know. I haven't seen Arternum play, I think, before today, so I didn't know what start week's going to do. I am curious to see if we're going to see a Dracula in Spain now. I feel like that is what I am scared of if I'm the hunters here, but we'll see. I mean, the other game that we were watching together, they did this and they started in the East, so maybe we'll see a repeat of that.
I played a game the other night with Strider656. He started 3 hunters in Munich, and or no, he didn't do it that game, but he's done it before. It's actually kind of scary, I think. Like, what do you do with 3 hunters in Munich? Do you start in the East? Do you start in Italy? Do you start in Spain and get hit by hired scouts almost immediately? Like, maybe there's something to it, the 3 hunters in Munich thing.
I think what you do as Dracula is you hope and pray you have a hoax in your starting hand because it will go off 10 out of 10 games. And you just pray that you have a hoax into Rumored Vampire and that's how you shake on. But I agree that I think that, that there is some benefit there. Although I don't know, I guess if Dracula doesn't have a hoax, what does he do? Does he just set up in Spain?
Well,
I feel like I would just set up in Spain.
I remember now. I was playing Geo when he did this. And what I did was I put wolves down in Geneva in 24. And they matured, and so I was gonna hit 3 hunters in Munich with my wolves, right? And you know what he did? He revealed 6 weapons for net 0 damage. Can you believe that? 0 damage. I was so jazzed to have my wolves mature, and I got nothing for it.
You had all the info. You got all the info though. Like you know everything about them.
Was a fair point, yes, but he also supplied for like 3 more days and started throwing out some of the items, trading them around, so wasn't as good as you might think. But it was interesting to see a few weapons like that.
I guess it also hurts if you have Seward as a part of this 3-man huddle because then even if you do deal damage to them, they just all heal it. Like they just all chill for 1 more day and heal.
Seward anyway, so not super useful.
Early behind the veil, no fog, unfortunately. 2 vampires. That's a lot of vampires in a starting hand.
What do we take, the Reckless, or do you take the new vampire? I'd probably take
the
Reckless.
I feel like I disagree. I feel like I would take the new. I feel like you can kill a Reckless vampire. I feel like killing a new one is...
Yeah, but you're probably gonna draw some stakes, right?
Well, if you draw a stake, it doesn't matter, right? You kill either of them. It's all the same to the piece of wood. It doesn't discriminate. It stakes all vampires equally.
But let's say you have the stakes, but you don't have the newspaper reports, and you can't get to it in time. Well, at least Dracula only gets 6 points instead of 7. Okay, so
yeah. But I think if we look from a game design perspective, and these game designers were masters, they made no mistakes. There are only 2 new vampires and 3 reckless ones, which would seem to imply the new vampire is better because there's only 2 of them in the deck.
Yeah, if you're thinking long term, it's like there's more to it than just the one at the beginning with the rumor token, right? Like a week and a half, 2 weeks down the line, he might put down that new vampire, and it proves to be really inconvenient for the hunters.
Well, because I think, and sometimes I'm not saying that I don't do it as hunters. I think sometimes you just gotta do it. But I think the 2 hunters going and taking their time killing a new vampire is still kind of a win for Dracula because it's like 2 hunters are both going to the encounter space.
Right.
They're both going to use their night action, right? They're both using day actions. They're both using night actions, and then you have the chance to maybe damage them or you break weapons if it's at night. Like even when the new vampire dies, I think that if 2 hunters are being devoted to deal with it, that can still be a win. if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Um,
You're...
like obviously you'd rather it live, but like if it's gonna die, if it takes 200s out of the way and they take damage and lose actions, or they fight during the day, then they're using their day actions. Hey, that's even better.
Yeah, they have a little more staying power than the Reckless, so
Mhm.
you can potentially be moving several spaces away from the new vampire while the hunters are still forced to deal with it. And as we all know,
Okay.
Sun Tzu would approve of
Sun Tzu would approve.
offering the enemy an opportunity that they must seize, forcing them
Yes,
to move.
offer the greedy enemy a slight profit.
Well said, well said. Oh no, we already have
Don't.
problems.
That's not good.
That's gonna be a forfeit. The winner is AndreZot.
Well, I think we actually, when someone leaves in the first 3 days, I think there is a rule in somewhere in the tournament rules that like whoever the spectators are, they join as the hunters. So I think that me, you, and Snuff all need to grab these guys, and we play out the rest of the game. I think that's how it works.
I believe they call that the Pizza Wizard clause.
Yes. That's why I took out all my games when I know Scott's was watching, so I can just like tap him in, like you're in.
Oh no.
He doesn't have actions. What? They have dusk actions. He's gotta do his dusk actions. I don't know if I can say anything. Look in the bottom right. Is he tabbed out? I made this mistake too, where I tabbed out of my dusk actions.
I think if it's a good faith effort to just try to restore the game, I think we're okay to...
It's not night actions, right? He's not in night, he's in his dusk phase. So I think it's possible that he like has some sort of a dusk event and he tabbed out of the event window to look at the map again and then forgot that he did it. I've done that before, actually. It happened in one of my games. I thought it was a bug, so I left. I mean, I'm gonna look back in the recording. Yeah, it's dusk. He sees it as dusk. Okay. No, but he has no buttons. Okay. That is weird. He did leave and rejoin right before this, right? That is what happened. I mean, yeah. I guess maybe that could have caused some kind of an error. But AndreZot doesn't have dusk actions, right? He doesn't have a card. Even if he doesn't, I don't. Is there a dusk action Dracula card? I don't think so.
No, and also he doesn't have any cards.
Right, he doesn't have any. It's a good point anyway. I'm just. Oh.
There we are.
Sure.
Dracula is not holding all the cards right now. Okay, we're back. I
don't understand what just happened. That makes no sense to me. Why would Dracula leaving and rejoining have any of... Okay, it's fine. We're cool. We're good.
Let's take it and run.
Look, it's an advanced tactic to sow discord by one of the two sides. I don't know who. It's working on me right now. So now I feel nervous that something's going to break.
Programming is a very tricky thing. I mean, just look at what happened at Jurassic Park. You know, all those people died just because of simple computer malfunction.
Well, I hope the same thing doesn't happen to medieval Europe, because that would be sad. Hopefully the menace that is Dracula can be put back in the cage.
Yes, I hope our players are safe too.
Yes.
Can we just have a game where nobody dies? No, none of the hunters have to die. Dracula can live. All of Europe is safe. Maybe they can just reach some sort of mutual compromise. Like Dracula gets to bite like a set number of people every quarter, right? With the agreement not to make more vampires.
I think we just go into we pull a Doctor Who and say everybody lives. The issue with that is I just think Dracula sees himself as above these guys. Like I don't think he's gonna enter into a compromise. He doesn't see a need to.
Maybe if they had some sort of like oversight committee, like a watchdog organization.
But who watches the watchdogs though, right? I feel like...
Especially if Dracula turns them all into vampires.
Right, I don't trust Dracula. I just think that maybe it's because I'm a heart player. I don't feel like I'm ever gonna enter... He's the spawn of the devil, alright? He's killed Godalming's lady. He killed Godalming's lady, alright? You think this guy's just gonna sit down with him and be like, oh, I guess you can bite 7 Lucy's every month.
Look at that face! How could you not trust him?
Hold on, let me look at his face.
With his burning red eyes.
That's the face of a man I can trust. With those sideburns like that,
Honest Drac, that's what they call him. We're ticketing. What about Dr. Seward? Are we ticketing? We trading? We're trading.
It's trading, it looks like. Yeah, what does Mina got, actually? I should be looking at this. She's got a newspaper, so there is going to be a Day 5 newspaper. Interesting that it didn't get misdirected, third space on the trail. I wonder if he'll do it now that he sees that Mina has a newspaper.
I don't know.
Because do you even use it on that empty, like, location? Or do you wait until you haven't seen the encounter?
What I want to know is, why can't you put a rumor down on your starting location? Is there maybe something in the rules that I'm missing where, like, you can only put a rumor down on a space that has an encounter on it?
That would be my guess,
Something
and I
like
just think that's so rarely, like, you never have an unrevealed location that doesn't have an encounter on it that's on your trail, except for your starting location. So it looks like it's like only no starting location, but that might be the actual rule. Because, like, if you have a revealed location, you can put a rumor token on a revealed location that has an encounter, right? But you can't put it on a location that's revealed and has an encounter, I believe. So that would lead me to believe the encounter is the crucial element.
Because, you know, you could put down a rumor token on your starting location and layer it and go back, play the long game.
Yeah, I think just because once the starting location is on the trail, I think it acts like any other. Like, I don't see why they included any. So I feel like it must be that it has no encounter, and that's why it doesn't work.
I'll have to check the rules on the rumor token later on, and we'll get back to you folks.
Well, because you can just rumor it afterwards, right? You can just move back there and then rumor token it at that point, I suppose, unless you need to immediately go to C, in which case, yes, you would have done it beforehand.
Yeah, but that doesn't have quite the same, like, you know,
the aura,
energy,
the fear that it puts into your opponent.
Yeah,
yes.
when your opponent sees, like, wait, why did he put down rumor token? What's going on? Yeah.
Well, speaking of rumor tokens, we've got one on the first vampire here.
Here's the second hired scouts.
Well, we assume to be a vampire on this first encounter here. There is a rumor token. Also a hired scout going off. I would check Spain, unless I don't think we've seen proximity events, right? We have not. I feel like Barcelona. I guess you could check Italy if you think Italy's a real thing. Because Italy might look nice.
I think pinging Rome wouldn't be, or Naples wouldn't be bad. Okay, it's not Rome.
Okay, checks Rome.
He's
Cologne is
the
where?
Amsterdam possibility. Cologne's
oh yeah, Cologne's at Amsterdam. Wait, hold on. Amsterdam would be great against this, sir. Hold on. You go Amsterdam and then you go down into the Spain.
I'm not sure about the Cologne check because, you know, it's not like you actually eliminated Amsterdam. He could have gone through Brussels.
Yeah, well, the thing is, because he didn't misdirect the starting location, if he did go Amsterdam at the beginning, both 16 and 9 would have to be covered by this point. So by checking either of them, you do rule out Amsterdam.
Yeah, that's a good point. Without the misdirect, yeah, that's a good point.
Unless he, like, started in 51 and then is in Amsterdam today or something weird. But, like, I don't see why you would do that. You wouldn't go to Amsterdam this early. You gotta save it for the right moment. Or do it really early. It's early. Casually go to Amsterdam because it limits your options so much getting in and out of that place.
Yeah, it's a commitment.
Just like all good things in life, sometimes you just gotta take that plunge. You gotta make a commitment to the one best space on the board, Amsterdam, but not, you know, middle of week 1. It's not the right time. Ooh, Mystic Research. Love that.
Okay. 400.
No big. Cards. Yeah, false tip and a bride's discarded, so nothing too crazy.
Oh, that's.
Mina is also immediately night supplying. Mina's night supplying immediately. That's interesting. That maybe makes me think she has bad items if she's night supplying with it this fast. Or maybe, like, 2 of the horses have been found on, like, this duo over here, and now he wants the 3rd horse to be found on Mina, so he's supplying with her more to increase the chance of that.
It could be something like that, or it could just be he wants newspaper reports on the right space. You know, if you pulled newspaper reports right there, you'd know where the rumor was.
Well, he's pulling it a day early. Bordeaux. That feels like Nog to me, right?
It feels like a non-start. Yeah, that checks out.
I really liked Nog back in the day. I think I played against Wakajic in the league in 2023, and I could check Nog because he's like, I knew I did sit there. And I think Notch is pretty good in this consort too. Because you have a lot of possibilities, like get John Stewart if you just like rails up to Bordeaux. I don't think I would normally leave Bordeaux on the trail, but I guess maybe okay.
Oh yeah,
So
you leave it there for a lair. Yeah,
yeah, it's
you
awkward
lair
though.
it, and now hunters. The 8 is a really important connecting place, kind of like 36. You know, it's a good spot for a lair.
When you know they have newspapers, right? Like they will now know where your general rumor is
Mm-hmm.
a day earlier, so they can move in advance like this, so they're more likely to get there in time, right? Like they're having an extra day to kind of move on Not. If we assume that it's not, I think even if it's not, these moves make a lot of sense. He's kind of just moving generically in that direction. I don't know why Seward went up to 7. I guess the thought is we're just gonna like make that. So no matter where he is, we end up having people close to him. I do think that the that movement is a little bit less efficient. I guess he's gonna get to Paris tomorrow, and
Yeah,
Van
yeah,
and
yeah.
Godalming isn't, so maybe it's better
I don't
actually.
have a problem with that because if the train tickets are right, yeah, you can go straight to Paris from there. That's a pretty good move. Um,
Because
I think okay, if you were gonna say do the hide trick and not, then you would want to misdirect Bordeaux. But if you're not gonna do the hide trick, and you already know about newspaper reports on Mina, right? You gotta kind of assume she's just like as soon as newspaper flips over the space with the rumor token, she's gonna take a train to 8 and then go straight to 9, right? So in that respect, I don't think there's much to gain from the misdirect there.
well, I also just don't know if Bordeaux's going to be relevant given the state of the game right now. Like he started clearly somewhere in France. Now he's going to be
Yeah.
fleeing somewhere else on the board. Wherever, let's say he goes into Spain here, maybe Bordeaux will be relevant because then like they'll go to Bordeaux. But if you look at where the hunters are, they can kind of rail over Bordeaux if they have to. Like they can go all the way to Saragossa, right? If they want to go into Spain. And if he went east, nobody is going through
What's
Bordeaux
the
except
east
Mina.
with high? Yeah,
Oh,
but Pizza Wizard, it's a long game. Maybe
it
you
is a
end
long
up
game.
wolf forming to Venice at some point, and you go to the Adriatic, and you end up in Rome, and pretty soon you're back in Bordeaux.
Yeah, I suppose I just think the game's shorter because I got hunted down so fast the other day. So I just feel like the game's it necessarily must be short. But you're right, in the long game, perhaps we could circle back to this region of the board.
And even if you
Although,
don't, I mean, just putting down a wolves there or something could be a little bit of free damage as the hunters start closing in on your encounters here. You know, you hit them
mhm.
with a bats or something like that. You send them to Bordeaux. You ambush them with a spy. You do something like that.
Toulouse High is very interesting here because it leaves Spain as an option. But the problem is if you just check 48 and you know he can't be in 48 unless he went. No, he can't be in 48 tomorrow if we move Mina there.
Yeah,
Unless he like feeds today. I
yeah.
would just check 48 with Mina tomorrow. And then if it's not in 48, well, then
You know he went
France or Italy or
right.
something.
Exactly, exactly. 48 gives you a lot of information right now because you can't hide in Barcelona. Yeah, he couldn't have gone to Bordeaux and tried to take the sneaky way around through Santander. Yeah, yeah, 48's
I
a
guess
good check, but is it worth the check? You know? I think it
well, I
is.
just feel like I want to rule it out because if you know he's not in Spain, that tells you a lot. It tells you that you
Mm-hmm.
probably don't want you want to move Mina up to deal with these things and let like the other 200s just kind of sit and supply because Dracula is presumably moving towards or around one of
Right,
them right now,
right.
right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, where do we think he's right now? He probably went Munich or Marseille. I'm sorry, if he went Marseille after Toulouse would make sense. And then like I don't know, like 60-38 maybe. He was in 60 yesterday. They both leave. He goes into 30. I could see that.
Marseille's a good
No,
check.
no Marseille.
Yeah, that's a good check.
That's a good check. Unless you were going to force him onto Toulouse, I think that's probably the best move.
Now we're getting sort of a sense of Dracula's direction here, which is an underrated aspect of figuring out his grand
Ooh.
plan.
You want a better ticket there. I think the 3 move's a lot better than the 2 move because Paris would tell you quite a bit. I mean, if he didn't go Marseille, he went what? 15. Roll right. Obviously, he might not have it, especially if he's holding on to like subpar tickets for the
And I mean,
closes.
heck,
I
yes,
like that a
Paris is
lot.
better, but Dracula, well, now Sargos is flipped. But, I mean, it's possible Dracula went, 15, 39, 29, right? Now you're actually blocking him.
Hmm. Yeah,
Going to
Brussels
places
isn't
to
terrible
get
either.
in Dracula's path isn't always a bad idea.
I just feel like
Okay.
Seward's gonna engage, and you want to be closer if you do. But I mean, yeah, you're right. Brussels isn't further away. It's pretty close.
Yeah, now we know he's in Spain.
Yeah, I
And
really like the
ooh,
Saragossa
that was
check.
a Dracula card.
Wait, what? How? Did he burn through the
Ooh,
Mystic Research that fast?
I believe he did. Say goodbye to your horse.
Oh no, he has Lucy's Revenge on Mina.
Do you take the Lucy's Revenge?
No, you don't take the Lucy's Revenge. You would never take the trash cards.
I
It's
don't know,
trash.
man. Lucy's Revenge is good.
Hold on. He had four night supplies, right? He didn't use. Wait, hold on. Don't tell me he's taking
Took the
Lucy's Revenge
Lucy's
right now.
Revenge.
That's actually ridiculous. Oh
No,
my god, I am scandalized right
Pizza
now.
Wizard. No, I am slowly coming to understand the value of that card. It is pretty decent. Like, being able to rob Dracula of his ability to escape as a bat, or even threaten to kill the hunter, like, isn't bad. And the fact that, like, yes, Godalming has 11 health, so he's typically least likely to get killed, right? But even though that sounds good on paper, like, he's one of your foremost guys. When he gets damaged, if Seward isn't really around, well, Godalming needs to keep doing the trail and keep taking damage and keep getting hurt. And being able to just tell Dracula, like, a hard nope on killing him is pretty decent.
Event card aside,
you ever
right?
been locked down by Lucy's Revenge and Sister Agatha at the same time? It is so annoying.
I'm not saying that Lucy's Revenge. Actually, I guess I am saying I think it's trash. It's trash here because Mina has it. She can't use it. Van Helsing is going to need to trade to Godalming before it's of any use. I just think you take the horse or you take the knife so that you can kill Mina. Like, you do one of those two things. Take it, Lucy's Revenge.
Yeah.
It's so far from being useful right now. It's so far away.
I can understand that perspective. Like, it's sort of a like a long-term, short-term kind of decision at this point, because I think Lucy's Revenge in the long term could be more difficult for Dracula to deal with. It's not like you have other ways of getting these event cards out of their hands. But a knife, I mean, you could snag that with a spy.
Well, right. I'm just saying, I think maybe you take knife there if you can, like, push Mina into something that, like, will give you a good chance of killing her, right? Like, if you're trying to kill Mina, I think taking, like, because you potentially get all of her stuff if you kill her, and then getting rid of the knife helps you do that. I think there's been a little bit of rules confusion here. It looks like I don't think the push and assumption there was very good, because now that trail's clear. They know where Dracula is. AndreZot, I think, thought that he would get a fight with Mina if he did that, which is why it didn't make sense. Unfortunately, not the case.
Yeah, I think that he was under that impression. That's right. Yeah, I got to remember the timings with the dawn and the dusk. It is a bit of a tricky beast when you're still getting used to it.
The more concerning allegation in my mind is Arternum saying he only supplied twice after he used the Mystic Research. And I very clearly remember there being 4 night supplies guaranteed there. So I don't know if Arternum's mistaken, or what. I wasn't admittedly paying that much close attention. I know that Mina night supplied immediately afterward, but I didn't see if he continued doing that or what. But if he seems, I feel like the difference between 2 and 4 is pretty massive. I feel like I don't know. I feel uncertain about that. I think the game's gotta be right.
I'll go back and watch the recording later. But I don't know. I suspect maybe he just forgot.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it could happen. You're supplying a lot during the day. You supply a few times at night. You know, these things happen. What does Dracula do from here? Because now, you just go to hope that the hunters don't, like, jump all over him with renewed vigor.
Yeah.
It looks like their horses aren't up yet because they haven't been moving bad. They've been, like, railing and, like, you know, it doesn't feel like the horse economy's all there. So, you know, maybe
the bit of a miscalculation here of moving Mina into him has now exposed him. And we know it was Saragossa Toulouse, Barcelona,
Yes.
Saragossa, Santander. So I mean,
Mhm.
you could still move to Madrid or to Lisbon here. I don't really hate those ideas.
Scott Swordsarko, he's gonna check the footage on that. Mr. Research, great job, sir. You're a hero.
What do you wolf form? You know, do you
Oh,
wolf
I didn't even
form
think about
to
that.
like
I don't think
39 or 15?
they're too close, right? Like they're already kind of closing in. If you will form toward you're just moving towards the other 300s. I think you gotta make them commit more if you're gonna try to win Spain.
But
I think you can't form out Spain. I think you might just die.
what if you wolf form to say Alicante or something like that, or even just like a quote unquote fake wolf form to Lisbon or Madrid maybe, because what that might get you is like some wasted day actions here. Like you might end up having Godalming check 15 to see if Drax's there. You might end up having Seward check 39 to see if Drax's there. You know, something like that could get the hunters. Like once you get the hunters in a situation where they feel like they have to manually check all these individual spots, they're wasting actions.
Yeah, I just don't like the wolf form here because you only really have he just has to check 15 and 39 and then he'll know Spain, and that will still take him time to yes. But like especially Van Helsing's gonna land tomorrow. He can just like casually check 20, 39. Like it would be like a day move. And granted that would still be wasting his time, but it doesn't provide that much obfuscation out of Spain. And then if he wolf forms back into Spain and then he's discovered pretty quickly that that's what he did, he might not be able to wolf form once from C if he has to go to C pretty quickly. Although maybe he'll wolf form. Godalming is not going to check it because he's going to get Toulouse today instead. And then, turns out that they can't really check 15 and 39 until 2 days, and then he's fine.
You know, if you go to 15, it's practically a sure thing that Godalming is not going to catch you there because he has to go deal with Toulouse.
I mean, that doesn't even try if he doesn't have forewarned. Maybe he gives up on Toulouse. Because you kind of know the whole trail. Losing the trail won't like obfuscate Dracula at this point.
Forewarned, or could you just bring 4 or 5 dogs?
See, I don't think people do saboteur hide anymore. I used to think it was the best thing ever, but I think people now they just want their bats because the bats give you so much more time. Like a bats stops it, even if the rumor token is on the 5th space, right?
But that's part of the beauty of this game is we don't know what Dracula started with. Oh, it was bats. Well, fine. Have it your way.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just telling you that this is what people are doing. It's the observation. I love putting a saboteur down and being able to save your
Unless Seward reveals a sense of emergency here.
Yeah. No, I guess Mina can't have one. We know she doesn't. She could Mina could roll her horses. She could roll horses and get there, right? Mina could roll horses and get there.
She could, but how's our horse situation?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's great because they haven't been using them yet, but maybe desperate times, desperate measures. He tries it. Wait, she has sense of emergency, doesn't she? Mina just has a sense of emergency there. She can just play that and get there if she wants to.
But she doesn't have a stake.
Ooh, nice. She does not have a stake, but she looks like she's gonna go check this out.
Now, if this is the new vampire. Oh no,
we saw those cards after it got. We also saw those cards after it got placed. So those are the cards he had in his hand after his first encounter. So we don't actually have any info on what this is. Although if it is a fighter vampire, free fighter vampire first day, which would be kind of crazy.
Okay, so he put soil in 8.
Layer Desperate Soil, which he's now triggering with Godalming for extra card draw. That's pretty nice.
It's not terrible, and sometimes you gotta work with what's in your
hand. Godalming is revealing a Heavenly Host.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. You don't want him triggering that a second time and getting even more cards out of it. Sargos
right, especially if Van Helsing's didn't come down there. But I think that's really good info for Dracula, knowing that he got a card draw and he got to find out like a Heavenly Host off of a layer. Mm-hmm. Like that was his starting location. That feels like a good amount of value to me.
Could be worse. Although typically I prefer my soil to be not in the lair because you'd love to see that healing at some point.
Well, yeah, I
gotta
agree
work with what's in your hand and everything, and there's no doubt that you definitely got some good value from it. Probably drew into a fog if you didn't have one already.
I guess there are only 2 desperate soils. You probably want to have both of those available too.
Oh, it's the hoax.
And Mina is just going in there. Wow.
Fearless search. Yeah.
I would have called that being aristocratic, honestly. I was thinking aristocratic. I guess it kind of didn't seem like a vampire by the way that he didn't ambush with Saragossa. If I felt sure that vampire was sure because, like, I don't know, he was a new vampire, and Mina has a stake, and not doesn't have a stake, she has, like, rifle gun, and I know Mina's going to get there, I might just, like, ambush her with Saragossa on the assumption that my vampire will definitely mature. He didn't ambush with Saragossa.
Which implies aristocratic. Yeah.
Yeah.
That checks out. That's a pretty good deduction. In this case, it implied hoax.
Yeah, and hits fake rumors.
Rumored hoax is not terrible because look at that. There's a fighter vamp right behind it, and I mean we talked about this last time. The hoax has pretty good synergy with a nearby vampire because it gobbles up your stake. And if you put a rumor on it, it's even more likely to do so.
Unfortunately, here we see the stake not be used on the vampire. It's on Seward right now, so he's just going to stake this tonight, unfortunately. At least he gets 1 point, I suppose.
You get your point, yeah. And a little damage, too, to boot.
Yeah, it's going to make Seward maybe wary to jump on you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Maybe, although he has backup. He's got people nearby.
If only Lucy's revenge applied to Dr.
Oh my
Seward.
god, don't even.
He
okay.
was in love with her too.
Jeez.
Right?
This okay, you know what? If he takes the horse there, his hoax matures. Alright? Because there's no way anyone else is getting actually have sense of emergency. Her sense of emergency there would have been a lot better than just using horse again.
Wow.
Okay.
You're
right.
right.
Lucy's revenge was it should have stayed in her hand. It wasn't doing anything there. It would have had to take 2 night actions from the guy who's probably trying to force a and instead you took Lucy's okay, you know what? I hope AndreZot loses now because he took the stupid Lucy's revenge. I was neutral before. It's over for him. He took Lucy's revenge. There was some friendship there.
The hoax
it's gone
matured
now.
Without the horse to get her there in time.
Well, she would have sent an emergency if she really felt desperate about it.
Or maybe sense of emergency.
But I mean, you were using that card there is infinitely better for Dracula than him just going to be like, oh, I moved my horse 2 spaces, and then I can do that again. I mean, maybe not tomorrow because she's delayed, but you know what I mean.
True.
That's a renewable resource there.
Yes, that's a good point. But what if a white 1 comes up, and then the horse is gone anyway, and now you're sitting there going, oh, I wish I took.
You know, hear me out here. What if you took one horse?
I kid.
And then another horse dies to white 1, and then they're gone down 2 horses.
That's pretty good too. Stake.
Oh, there we go.
Doctor's orders.
Bye, vampire.
Take one of these. Don't call me in the morning.
Yeah, hold on. Show me. Roll up your sleeve really quick. I'm looking for a good vein.
Say, show me where it hurts.
Yeah, it's like a little wooden stick. He's putting it in his mouth and talking about and shoving it through his throat.
You ever been to
an exorcism? I'm actually just mad. I have not been to an exorcism.
Yeah, me neither.
Unfortunately. Only in the movies.
That'd be pretty interesting, though, I feel like maybe it'd actually be like a total letdown, you know? Nobody would be floating off the bed.
Probably not,
spinning their head around. Just some old man spraying holy water, saying a bunch of Latin.
I feel like I may feel bad. I feel like exorcisms are used on like people who are like mentally unwell, and like they say it's a spirit. And I just feel like I would just feel bad for all.
Quite like
the person's. Yeah, I don't know. It's rough. The only real spectacle that's going on right now is being made of me because he just picked Lucy's revenge over 2 amazing items, and I'm flabbergasted by it. I can't believe I'm seeing such a terrible play. I think his PC might have died again. Maybe that's what happened. His PC died.
The AI made the choice.
Exactly. That's the only possible explanation. Even Scott Sword, who is in chat right now, maybe he can't scoring. Scott Sword, would you take Lucy's revenge there? Even if you think Lucy's revenge is, would you take it over the horse? That's what I want to know. In that situation, with things as they are on the board, I feel like I'm not crazy here. Even if you think Lucy's Revenge is, it's fine. Where is Dracula? Is he in 48 now? No, he's not. 48 is on the trail. Is he must be like he's in?
He's
I
probably in
hope he's
like
not in
12.
26. Oh, he could be
Or
on one right
maybe
now.
1. Yeah.
One would be nice if he just up like went straight there. He
But
could get 3
I've
hunters
thought this
tower down
before.
today.
I don't know. Like, yeah, I mean, it depends on the positioning of the hunters, because right now they're pretty effectively drawn towards the left side of the map. So a quick Mediterranean and Wolf to 37, like, would not be bad at all. But at the same time, sometimes I feel like the obfuscation of moving 2 C zones is slightly more valuable. So like you leave via South Atlantic and then go Mediterranean, because now you're at least threatening like you might have gone to Ireland or something.
I don't know if I'm really that threatened by an Ireland move, actually. I feel like it's not that. Ooh, he's not in Alicante. Oh, interesting. Maybe he wants to leave from South Atlantic, like you said.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree with you. At this stage in the game, it's a little too early for Ireland, because they're just gonna, send
Well,
one
they're just gonna sit
guy to
supply,
deal with
right?
those
Like,
encounters.
you go to sea right here, and then 2 people like in Spain mount paper trail. The other 2 are probably gonna go to like Marseille and Bordeaux, and then they fly up and land. If they draw an evil presence or a local rumor, check Ireland.
Evil rumors,
and then,
local presence.
Yeah, exactly. All of these things that are real cards in the deck. I just, I just think that you're kind of screwed because they don't really have to move very far, because you're gonna have to leave from Ireland, right? It's not long-term sustainable to go there.
No, it isn't.
Ooh.
I'm curious
The
about
horses
that
are
move.
not in order. Well, he doesn't have the horse deck in order, right? That's why he's going there. He's trying to get closer, but he doesn't have.
Yeah, but why
in a
move
good
her
spot.
there at all?
I suppose you're right. With sense of emergency, he can now get anywhere in Spain, but I guess he could get anywhere in front of 54 anyway. Maybe he just.
Didn't he? No, he used the horse. That's right.
Maybe he just wants to be on the rail line and also be closer to Dracula.
If the horses truly are not in order, then that was a pretty bold decision on his part to forego using sense of emergency and use the horse instead. Because
there were less tickets in the pool then.
7 points.
Yeah, I mean, there were less tickets in the pool back then. And there was 12 just now. Godalming took 2, I think, so we're back downtown. But I mean, there was only, I think, 9 or 10 when he made that decision. He could have just been under the roll the dice on it and try his best, because he might not have even really wanted me to. He might have been scared of it.
You're breaking up a little, Pizza Wizard. Try turning your headset off and back on, or plugging it in or something. Like, you're mostly coming through fine, but I'm getting like little breaks here and there.
How does it sound? Does it sound better or sound sad?
It sounds okay right now. Like I said, it's sporadic. I think you're okay.
Okay.
Okay, so South Atlantic.
For sure, like you said, look, he's taking keynotes. He's listened to the gyro. He's now gonna face, and he's gonna wolf form, and it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I think wolf form to 37 is pretty good here.
Godalming is also not immediately dealing with it. I think he didn't do it last night because he wanted to be a little bit today. We'll see, right? He didn't want to be potentially like delayed by a chat set.
Yeah, I actually like that, the no search. Because if you become delayed right now, you can no longer threaten Dracula, and then he can just linger about.
Yeah, I don't know if I really like the Granada move there. I feel like it was really unlikely he went there. I think there were enough hunters close by that he probably wanted to always be on a scene.
Yeah, I would have been fine with a train to 31.
Like, I'm feeling like it's hiding Cadiz is actually my best guess right now. But rats? I could also see he just went 31-12 or 12-31.
He must have misread. You're supposed to put bats in Madrid, not rats.
He might not have had. He did have a bats in his hand, I believe, when we saw it behind the veil. Oh, but that he probably hit with that actually. That's probably the
Yeah, it
bats that
could
we
have been the
saw in
same
Toulouse.
bats we saw in Toulouse.
Mm-hmm. Because Dracula hands are limited these days. I can't have everything all the time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in this
Being
economy.
undead isn't as good as it used to be. Yeah, I mean, what is it even worth anymore to be undead? You get rats half the time. You get savage bodyguard. Just
You know what I do like to use rats for? Is when you get hit by a hired scouts, like on the first day or something like that. You
like, what do
follow
you mean?
me?
Like when your starting location
Okay,
is found?
I started in Bordeaux, right? And day one,
Mhm.
Strider finds me with hired scouts because he just uses ESP powers to predict the Bordeaux start, right? Now he knows where I am, and I haven't even put down a single encounter card. So where my next encounter is going to be fairly telegraphed anyway. So why not have, if he's going to get there anyway and deal with it, why not just put down a rats? And then you're not wasting your good encounters in a place where you have virtually no obfuscation and he's bound to track it down anyway, right?
I guess I just feel like there are enough opportunities to put rats in layers that there's almost never a reason to put a rat on the trail. Like if you have the chance to put it in a layer instead. Like I would put anything else on these numbers, even if you're right to find it. I can put something that if he doesn't find it for whatever reason, like let's say he decides he just doesn't gonna check because maybe he thought it was not and it ends up being instead, that at least I get something out of it. Like I might not put like my hide vampire down because I think it's just gonna get found. But I'll put like I don't know, I'll put a spy maybe because a spy is pretty good if he finds it or if it matures. Uh, maybe an
True,
aristocratic.
but I'm also starting to think that like on-demand damage for Dracula is kind of a premium. Like, it's not like you can just, oh, I'm going to damage the hunter just whenever you feel like. Like, yeah, you can move somewhere and put down a mob and hope they jump on you when you have mob, sure. But now what? Like, you need more damage than that. Maybe you hide and you put down a rats on top of it. Like, yeah, sure, wolves is better, but you don't always have the wolves. You don't always have the mob. Whereas, like, sometimes you might be in a situation where I want to get some damage onto these hunters, and I want it now. And it could be not the worst thing in the world to have a little 2 damage up your sleeve. I'm not trying to stick
Well,
up for rats here. I mean,
the
it's a
rats did
bad
live. I mean, hey,
card.
if that was a bodyguard, it would have done the same thing. We would have Godolphin would have revealed one of his many weapons. I assume he has a knife that hasn't
Mm-hmm.
revealed yet, and then it would be gone. Now the rats is still there. So we're actually seeing like the best case scenario where the hunter takes damage and the rats are still there. Now we can layer Madrid. Maybe he comes back there at some point later in the game. You know, has
Maybe
three things on there.
maybe the hunters are about to jump onto you, right? So you move and you put down your mob, right? And then you hide and you put rats on top of it. Hunter moves on to you. You can ambush with the rats while holding on to the mob for when the second hunter moves in, right? Then if a rifle or pistol wasn't revealed, you can ambush with rats again and now ambush with your mob or your wolves potentially, right?
Mm-hmm. Looks like he felt a little bit insecure in Cadiz. Maybe he was
Yeah.
worried they would horse onto him, and then they didn't. I mean, it's still an okay fog. It's going to keep Seward bound up for a little bit, although back up 4 items. Uh,
It's, I mean, we've all seen enough renewed vigors in Spain that it's pretty understandable. You
he
know,
very easily could have gotten jumped on there. Like, it was
oh
not
yeah,
even. It could
renewed
have very
vigor,
easily
chartered
happened.
carriage, sense of emergency, triple heavenly hosts, hosts and knives. I mean, pretty soon you're at 5 health if you're lucky.
I mean, I see that fog. I think it's very reasonable, and I don't even think
Better
it's
safe
like
than
terrible here.
sorry.
I think it's not like great, but it's also not the worst ever. Fog is kind of just whenever you play it. I think the only thing you miss here is hey, your event Dracula things are getting shoveled over here. You had layers are going, you had soil earlier. I mean, no vampires have matured, so you've had chances. I mean, I feel like it ain't bad at all. You know,
Yeah.
you might be able to get it back by using it now, I guess is the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah. Yeah. Use it early and get it back later for sure. You got Seward Trap there, so he can't pursue you by sea. Okay, so where'd he go?
60.
Yeah, pretty good
If I'm the
guess.
Hunters, I'm thinking 60 right now. Or Milan, like you said earlier. I could also see Milan.
I like Milan because it actually has one more connection. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's not right. Same number of connections. But it has slightly more valuable connections to Venice and to Genoa. Well,
See, I think I disagree.
depends.
I think
Well, okay. In this scenario, Zurich might be better because you could get to Nuremberg from there, right? But if they were a little more in a position to threaten you, I like Milan a little better. Like if you're worried about CG, maybe, or like
it's definitely
patrol
got closer access to
coverage.
sea. Like you can get to a sea space immediately from Milan if you have to. You know, you can just go straight to Venice or Genoa. There's even two, like you said, so you have a little bit of obfuscation there.
Hmm.
It's not. There's two options there. I just don't like that kind of you to go. Either you go Munich or you go Italy, and those are like the options from 37. Unless you're gonna go to Zurich the next day, and if you're gonna do that, in my opinion, because you wanted to go
Why not
north,
just go there
you,
now?
you should have just gone. You should have just gone there a day earlier, right? Because all you're doing is slowing yourself down. Because they're gonna check 60. I usually check 60 if I can, because it's just such a nice spot to like. Let's say you go Milan, right? And you go Milan because you're like, oh, I'm thinking, and then you go north. What if they just check Zurich before they check Milan?
Right.
And then they find out where you went, and now you're
Van
like one day
Helsing
closer.
committing here to take care of Lisbon.
I like if he doesn't have a horse, I like that quite a bit. You know, you send the guy who's immobile to go to the encounters, the two fast, they'll stay here and then be able to chase Dracula. I kind of like that. It's not bad.
And then Van Helsing can always take a train to get back to Bordeaux.
Yeah, back to Marseille. You know, if later in the game you want him there.
Yeah, not a bad call.
I mean, he could even be in Granada right now. It would be insane. But he could be in Granada. He then makes Madrid a lair and then goes
Oh, lair with rats.
lair with rats and something else and whatever he decides to put there.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Seward wouldn't even be able to move on to him tomorrow because he'll be fogged for one more day. So, you know, that's my crazy, my tinfoil hat theory.
Well,
I think
it
it would be that because he can't go to
seems
sea because
pretty
all the sea spaces would be taken. Yeah, all the sea spaces would be
yeah.
so long. Like he would essentially string together these layers. Like he'd probably go Saragossa the next day. It would just require like I don't know. It would require Van Helsing to get incapacitated. I think if Van Helsing gets incapacitated, maybe. Maybe you could be doing it. But the problem is you don't know that until after you commit. Um,
Yeah, with wolf form on the trail and both sea spaces on the trail, that would be pretty
it would be
bad.
bad. I just like to think about the circling in
Oh,
Spain, but
for
it's not a
sure,
good
for
idea.
sure. I
He's
mean,
probably like in Ireland or in 60.
AndreZot seems more like a 60 guy.
I think I'm a 60 guy.
Yeah,
But I think I did actually go forward to Milan in the game that I lost, so maybe that's why
I
it
think
happened.
Ireland is just right now. It's too like you're forced to go to sea again, and everybody knows Dracula doesn't want to do that any more than is absolutely necessary.
It might be nice if they immediately run east on the assumption you definitely went east, and then you're in Ireland. Move
Yeah.
their actions move away from the coast to then move back to the coast. Um, but the problem with that is Seward and Van Helsing are then much closer to you than they would otherwise be because that far on the board, like Van Helsing goes back to Bordeaux, and then he can instantly, you know, in uh, what's it called, the Hop. He can be in the Hop the next day. Like he can get to England
There's other things too, though. I mean, Dracula could have gone to Geneva in hopes of going to Strasbourg next, and then you get to 41 that way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You just like kind of chill in this Germany-France area, hoping they'll overshoot you.
Maybe a psychic bond could have been called for there.
Oh yeah, because I guess that would also eliminate like if you
it,
like wolf him to like Le Havre or something. Like you
right,
had a wolf
right.
to Paris.
It wouldn't eliminate necessarily the best spaces, but it would at least eliminate technically 4 of them.
I mean, if you knew he went for sure to North Atlantic, I would do it in a heartbeat. I think the fact that you don't know for sure makes it difficult to justify. I guess you could just both supply them. You supply Bordeaux, you do the psychic scan, but like you didn't really lose that much.
Well, he's put himself in a tricky spot because by pushing Mina ahead, now Mina is sort of the foremost hunt. Like if we assume Dracula did go to Zurich, now you've got Mina chasing after Dracula, which is a pretty dangerous spot for her to be in. You know, she ends up taking some damage or getting into a night fight, and then she has to fight Dracula.
Well, I mean, she has no protective events because he took away the Lucy's events that would have helped her.
Right. I mean, Lucy was her best friend.
Exactly, because that would make it a good card if it could protect Lucy from, or not Lucy, but protect Mina from getting a bite. That would be all right. But it's not her. It's Godalming, the strongest hunter in the game, outside of Seward. Maybe we could argue that point later, but I don't know. I'm still mad. It's fine. I'm gonna stay mad because I'm not the one playing the game.
How many times have you seen Godalming get killed?
It doesn't happen.
Oh, it happens.
It doesn't happen.
It totally happens.
Well, it happens every like once in a while, but he's got like you have to, you know, I don't know. And the thing is, Lucy Revenge isn't a great strength. You can't just hold on to it for the moment when you're say, oh, I see you've played it. I won't try to kill you. I'll just play, you know, I'll maximize Kaya another way. Like it's a Garlic Wreath. Okay, you can't. It's not like Garlic where you can play it and take it back. Okay, yes, he often uses escape as bad, and then it stops the first escape. I agree, but again, Dracula can just say, I don't need to escape as bad. I'm just going to pummel Godalming to like. And then what is the Lucy's Revenge doing? I guess it's
keeping him from
that scenario. And you're then pretty happy because Dracula wasn't able to escape from the fight. So sure.
Jonathan Harker
sure.
told us. That's the real strongest hunter in the game, I think, is Jonathan Harker.
Yeah.
Because
Scotsman also didn't answer me.
He can search any city. He doesn't have to be there.
It'd be so slow. It's like.
And this is getting interesting. So it's not 60 or 37.
Wait, how do we know it's not 60? Did we check that
Jonathan
somehow?
Harker.
Oh, nice. So it could be a Genoa or 24, like you were saying, Geneva.
I suspect 24 here. That's what I'm smelling out. I'm sniffing out Geneva here.
I think you're pretty happy for Geneva because they spent some days like
25-57 is also possible. 25-20 is possible. I don't think I'd hate the Italy play here either. You know, like if he was in Florence right now, getting ready to sneak down to Rome and Naples, and yes, it's annoying that you have to leave by sea, but leaving via Adriatic or Tyrrhenian are usually both fine choices. And
well, especially since so many of them are in Spain right now.
Committing to Italy. Oh no, he's not in 20 because he just busted a feed. That
hold
tells us
on.
He's in 57. Only a crazy.
Could you imagine
feed in 20.
He's in 20 feeding right now because they would never.
Madman.
How would they know if you're in 20? How would they? They're not gonna check 20. That would be insane.
Yeah, but if you get a hired scouts, I might just.
You still wouldn't check 20. I think this obviously reads like it's either Ireland or Venice. I think that's the two obvious like reads from this.
Mm-hmm.
That he he's sitting on the Caesar. He doesn't want to leave it because he feels scared because he doesn't want to go to Munich. Godalming might just horse onto it. He doesn't want to go. CG spot that could be bad. Or he's in Ireland and he just wants to. He doesn't want to. He just wants to maximize HP because he knows he's gonna have to go back to C. Interesting move to put
Going by C.
Seward to C. We haven't seen the third horse yet, right? We assume it's on Seward, but I don't think he's actually used it.
Looks like
right?
the move to head to Ireland.
Yeah. I guess if you want to go to Ireland, that is faster than going to Bordeaux, right? Because it would take you even if you had a horse, it would take you 2 days. I guess you get night actions in that scenario, and in this scenario you don't.
Oh,
but
imagine if he really did go to Grenada and feed. Now we've got Van Helsing taking a chartered carriage all the way to Paris, probably.
He was hiding. He hid in Granada. He's played the feed card. He now just happens to have he makes Cadiz Alaire and then accidentally clears it back to Cadiz. He can then go to sea the next day if he has to.
That'd be like going to sea from Amsterdam and landing in Cologne. Or I'm sorry, in Hamburg. It'd be like going from Amsterdam to the North Sea to Hamburg or something like that.
Oh my god, that would be. There's no way he did that. He's definitely in Genoa and he went to Venice, or he's in Strasbourg trying to make it look like he went to Ireland. Right. I don't think there's any chance he's in Spain because it looked real bad to be in Spain unless the hunters did pretty much what they've done.
If you're in Strasbourg, where do you go?
Well, you have all the options in the world. You go to 41 now that they've ruled out Zurich. Actually, you just go to 41 because now they're not going to check 41 tomorrow. Why would they?
Because they're figuring it out. Because
okay. Well, right, but they're not checking Strasbourg either. I think if I'm the hunters, I'm checking.
Reveals a horse tomorrow and heads to 41. That's not really that unlikely to me.
I think it is because he knows he didn't go through Zurich, right? He's only in 41 if he specifically went 24, 51. What is the number on? Only if he went Geneva, Strasbourg, Nuremberg. That's the only way he's in Nuremberg. And if he's anywhere else, let's say he's in Ireland, or not Ireland, he's in Ireland, or he's in Italy, going to 41 is actively moving you in a not good. It is not helping you at all. And I don't think that he's going to gamble everything on. I really hope he did specifically this one line. And to the detriment of him doing anything else. I guess he could have been to Strasbourg and then he goes to I don't know, Frankfurt, and going to Nuremberg isn't terrible because it blocks off Nuremberg, but I just feel like those are the kind of moves that in the long term don't pan out for you. Is it Venice? Or is it Ireland? We still don't know. Although now it is, I think, just those two options, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He was never in Spain.
Yeah, no, he couldn't have been in Spain because both
the
sea zones are still on the trail.
Spain was never a real thing. We wanted it to be a real thing because it would have been hilarious. It would have been so amazing if it was, but as a player in this game, you're never going there because it feels so bad if you die.
You feel like you just committed suicide, basically.
Right, you threw the game away. It's like...
Clock is ticking along here. It's already week 3.
You're just gonna check Venice, right? You check Venice, and then And I feel maybe you check Genoa.
Well, because it could be Genoa Hyde. Okay, we're supplying. Looks like we're gonna send Seward to land.
I guess you don't want Seward to land because you don't know for sure that he's a. There's some benefit. The hired scouts is huge.
Hired scouts.
There we go.
So 2557. Whoa!
He went keg. AndreZot goes keg. Who spiked his punch before this game? That's not the AndreZot I know.
He figured it was the last place anyone would look for him.
Oh my god, it was a fake wolf form. And Seward is nowhere in sight. Look, he went to North Atlantic.
Complete opposite direction. He won't be able to get there in time to deal with any encounter. But fortunately, it looks like Godalming could just about make it there. Which is, if he'd have gone to Venice to check out Venice, that wouldn't be the case.
Well, yeah, but then if he's in Venice, he's closer to you going into the east, which is what you're doing now. I do think that going South Atlantic and then moving on Sea Space and wolf forming provided him so much more option here than just going med and wolf forming, right? Because if he went med and wolf, his Seward movement would not have happened, right? There's no way he would have ever sent
Yeah,
towards Ireland, because it wouldn't have been a possibility.
You have to keep that threat of Ireland alive in the mind of your opponent. And let
Not even
them
just Ireland, but he could have
see
gone like
mistakes.
Le Havre. You know, he goes like Le Havre. There's options.
You got to give them just enough rope to hang themselves with.
You got to give them room to make mistakes. You know, I think that's a big part of playing Dracula is giving them to make mistakes. Because if you don't give them room to make mistakes, they will just deterministically, you know, come after you. Unless you give them, you know, like you said, a rope to hang themselves. Give them shadows to jump at.
The shadow trail, as it were. Well, this is.
I didn't even think Keg. That's crazy. I would not have assumed Keg. I mean, he's gotta have a vampire, right? There's the new vampire that we haven't seen yet. But I guess he didn't rumor it. But could he have rumored it? I guess he could have when he hid there.
Or is it second hoax? Still a lot of cards in the deck, so it's not super likely.
Could be second. I mean, there's only 2, and I don't think he's like. There was probably like 5 or something left in the deck when he landed there. I mean, there could very well be a second hoax, and that would be very good. There's a lot of cards in that discard pile. There's 5, 10, 15. There's 17 Dracula cards.
2 cards left in the event deck or encounter deck means that
it's probably
actually decent that he drew into it.
I mean, some of those have been gathered from him layering things since he landed, so there's a chance he didn't actually have it when he. I mean, chances are terrible that he had it. I would not discount it. And admittedly, you know, me sitting here in the commentary booth, I didn't even think about Keg. It was not even on my list. Like, I was like Venice, Ireland. I guess I was like Genoa.
Well, that's what a wolf form will do to you. Yeah, you're not likely to guess 13 on a wolf form.
Yeah, I guess it says props to Arternum here for using his higher scouts to eliminate that possibility. The issue is now his scouts are. His trial's very telegraphed, right? He now is essentially forced to go east because he left what's it called? He left too soon, so he cannot go back to Med because it's still on the trail today.
Yeah, nothing.
If he had like
about it, I mean,
dark called maybe or something, but it's just
Med would still be on the trail.
No. He could go to Tyrrhenia and then Med would fall off, right? Before he would move there.
Okay, yeah.
But I mean, I don't think it would have been great. Like, he could have done that. I don't think it's crazy. I don't even know if it would have been worth it, honestly. Again, that feels pretty silly. Okay, you're glad you invested in him then if you had an extra brother. You're glad you didn't sit there and invite him to come, even though you took away his Lucy's Revenge. So reckless. Does he just throw out his Heavenly Host here? Because I mean, we know he has it, but if he has CG, he probably doesn't want to play it, right? Because he's not going to get it back.
I mean, it's tough to say because you do want this thing dead. 4 points isn't that big a deal, but he's going to get feedback.
Yeah.
Well, there's a good knife.
Mm-hmm. I think the vampire is also okay with that. I mean, it's not great, but do you play Fang now?
What does claws imply here? A weak hand, maybe?
I think it implies a weak hand, or he thought Godalming was going to leave because he had a stake.
Because if you had strength, you would just strength, right?
I mean, I don't know if I was strength from one there. I feel like I'm very scared of Godalming just leaving and then staking me. I might want to be able to put damage in.
Yeah, good point.
Especially since he's going to be moving by sea again, right? So he's not going to have time. Oh, that's a reason to play Claws turn 1, because you want to deal as much damage as possible in the first fight to guarantee, to maximize chances of killing him, especially since you took Lucy's Revenge, so he's not going to be able to save himself with that card, so double down on that play, you know?
Yeah, if only he still had it.
If only. He would be completely safe here. I mean, ooh.
Knife?
Yeah, no. Godalming is just leaving. Godalming has no interest in fighting the 6 HP vampire, right? She is the, Tara Muir of this other vampire. Does nothing by herself, right? She needs the Reckless. So, if he has a stake, I don't know if he does, but if he has a stake, he'll just stake the Reckless and then, fight off the new vampire again. I don't think he has a
I think you actually rest here.
Yeah. You probably fight during the day tomorrow because if doing a night fight against him is suicide. Even if you have a stake, I think it's going into it with 4 HP against him.
Yeah, I think you're better off resting tonight, and then tomorrow you can. I mean, you could supply during the day. You could rest during the day. Or no. You would want to go straight for the day kill.
Yeah, you want the day kill because he doesn't have time to rest for 2 days. Unfortunately, I think what I'm really mad about is that he has not built wolf form. If I'm Dracula, he wants to wolf form from Iron, but the fact that he can't means that if there is a CG, he can't really land without losing everything. And there's no obfuscation. So if he just lands without wolf form here, and they have CG, they got him.
Yeah,
You know, like they'll split the first one on 46, and then he, you know, assuming they have 2 Heavenly Hosts, which I feel like it's pretty reasonable. Nobody only has 1, I think.
He did rest.
He's dead.
It's a good rest.
So he's almost forced to go to a C space here, which again, if he goes Adriatic and they money trail it, then he's also dead to the CG. So the CG is looming very large right now.
Yeah. Could be everything here. Then again, yes, that's right. Dracula can only place moves by land.
Yeah, or hides. But I think he could have placed a rumor token when he hit there, but I think he didn't want to. He wanted to wait 1 more day to maintain, because if you rumor token it, it makes
it's pretty much like
so close.
Everybody that you're about to go to see.
I think he wanted to wait longer, and he's paying a little price for it now.
He's done the frequently underrated move of moving from Ionian to Adriatic or Black Sea to gain some obfuscation here. I'm not sure I disagree.
It's risky if he has money trail. If he money trails, it's very bad because you lose everything here. You take 5 damage, you lose your whole trail. You then have to go back to another C space. Like, it's real bad if he has a money trail CG. But that's also like 2 1-ups in a 75 card deck, which the cards are only, you know, they're only 38 cards deep. So
the other thing too is that if he did have money trail earlier, he probably would have played it before sending Seward to the North Atlantic. Like after Dracula wolf formed, you might money trail there. Which isn't saying he didn't get it later on. Like he might have grabbed it since, but if you're Dracula, you're thinking maybe he doesn't have money trail. Do you just, if you have CG here, do you just take a shot? Do you just go for it and put down a CG token and a host in 17 and 56? And then maybe you put the third one down in 55?
I think I would rather bet on being Adriatic and go permanent token in 55, right? Because if he's not an Adriatic, that means he'll never be able to go to Bologna. 57, 5. Or maybe I would do permanent token, and then put the other 3 temporary ones all around. That way, if he's in the Adriatic Sea, he's screwed because he gets penalties. And if he's not in the Adriatic Sea, well, now there's Sophia. What is he going to do about it? Like, now the East is kind of just like a death trap. He can't get out because there's no sea space that he can go to unless he goes all the way to...
I don't know.
I guess like that's what I would do.
I feel like I'd rather deny him 55 and the East.
Well, I just don't think he can go 55. If there's a permanent one in 50, he has to go all the way first. Block it off.
I don't know. I feel like I would go 55, 5, 17, 56. If you have the full power CG, right? Then all Dracula is, what is putting it in 17 do?
What is putting
if he's in the Black Sea, he takes an error.
Oh, because you would put another one at 56. I'm sorry, I misheard you. I thought you were going to block us.
1756 to account for the Black Sea. Yeah, here it is. 1756 to account for Black Sea. Then 1 in Valona and 1 in Bari. Now Dracula has no choice but to go wolf form to 25, wolf form to 20, land in Venice. That's pretty much it, right? Now you've got an opportunity to jump in with Seward, Van Helsing, and Mina.
Gives him the chance to fog, which is annoying. But yeah, I suppose you're right. Okay, and I think the permanent is not a bad move. Like, I think that is very
I
reasonable.
think that's okay.
Um,
It also means he won't be going to Athens for the rest of the game. No Athens for you,
yes,
buddy.
unless he lands there from the Ionian Sea at a later point, which seems unlikely. Okay, he is also guessing that he did in fact go Black Sea because he was
I
scared
think
of.
that's a good guess. I think
But maybe he's doing exactly.
I think Dracula did go Black Sea with a
Ooh,
plan
okay,
to
but
reform
he,
maybe to 10 or something like that.
unlike you, he seems to be more in favor of if he's in the Adriatic Sea, let's make it go to Ireland.
No, Bari.
Or sorry, to Italy, not Ireland, Italy. Which I think is worse given the fact that the Tyrrhenian Sea just fell off the trail because of the vampire mature. So now we can just like, oh, he was in Black Sea. Okay, it's very bad for Dracula. That's probably GG there, right? Like he goes back to Ionian.
Lands in 46.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I thought he was in Adriatic. I really would have put more scared of the death. Yeah, Scott's right. I agree with you. Tyrrhenian being off trail is huge. If he was in Adriatic, he's not. Now he's in Black Sea. Now he's in,
That's so unfortunate for Drac because, you put all this work into going an extra sea zone so that you can get your wolf form and some moderate amount of obfuscation, even if it's not, like, great. But they just throw down CG anyway, even with incomplete information. This
Well, I
happened
think
to
you
me
do that,
before,
right?
too. That's the damn thing about the Black Sea is there's only 2 ports.
Maybe you had to Dark Hall on Cagliari on the assumption that you have 2 vampires there. There's no way you're gonna, right? Like you just sit there on top of 2 vampires because you for to come back.
Yeah, that takes a lot of foresight, though.
Well, I mean, you just have
realize
to.
that
You have to.
You have to count ahead the spaces and realize that you're gonna be landing without wolf form.
Mhm.
Maybe the right call was to not wolf form to CAG. I mean, you'd still be threatening like you could have landed CAG normally, right? And then it wouldn't have been quite as confusing as to what was going on, but you still would have been threatening the split between CAG and Ireland, right? Like you could have been in Galway.
But then I think Harker comes up like we saw in the game, and then he just checks Kag with Harker, and then he instantly knows he's there. And because I think the wolf form actually got him a lot. Like it sent Seward to the North Atlantic Sea.
Yeah.
Mina and Godalming spent some time checking like some space in Italy. I think it was actually a good wolf form. I just think that he maybe didn't look forward enough to see where the sea movement was going to get him. And granted, right, there was no guarantee that they had it. Like it was maybe slightly more likely than not because they were like 8 cards in the deck at the time. There's a world where they just don't have CG here, and he is fine. Right? Maybe as Dracula, you don't want to play to say if they have CG, I'm dead. If they, maybe that's not a risk he had to take here, but this could have worked out for him. This time it didn't. I do think that the guess on him being in Black Sea was well done by Arternum. I think I would have gone the other way, but I think that he clearly made the better decision in doing Black. Because that's where he was.
Well, it's like I said, the Black Sea, CGing the Black Sea is so low commit because it only requires 2 tokens. And then you can use the other 2 tokens, like on the Adriatic coast, to just force him into an inconvenient position, like we were saying with Bari or Venice.
Yeah, I think I agree with you that I think Venice would have been a better spot to leave open than Bari. Trying to off, but again, this fantasy football doesn't really mean anything. It's all moot points because the board we're looking at right now, Dracula's in the Ionian, and I don't know what he's gonna do. Does he just keep moving by sea? Like, does he go another sea space? What is he supposed to do? I don't think the game's even necessarily. The fact that they have probably at least one of them bigger is worrying, but he can go one more sea. He can wolf form. Maybe he's in Adriatic, Tyrrhenian. He doesn't have to land in the east today.
I think maybe you make a go for the castle here. Oh, he's going.
Wow.
He's going
by wolf forming onto Mina.
Tyrrhenian or Adriatic.
I think that's better. I don't think if you land in the east here, how do you get to the castle? Mina's blocking it. Like you land in 6 with a fog, and then you just wolf form the next day to get to 10.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point because if you just land in 46 right now, it's probably renewed vigor time.
You would probably only be facing 2 hunters though, right? I think it'd be unlikely Seward there unless he has a chartered carriage.
I don't know. I mean, let's say you did land in 46. What is Mina gonna jump onto you?
No.
Even renewed vigor isn't really gonna get anyone there in time unless
I-
Van Helsing might play excellent weather.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
That's a
Third second nights of weather could come out. But if he doesn't have second nights of weather, but I think the reason he Venice some weather because he did put a CG token there. He wasn't putting him in Venice. That's an awkward move from from Godalming. You kind of just wish you could see, but you had to move him. I mean, like leave him in Tyrrhenian. Leave him in Tyrrhenian C because.
I mean,
I guess you go med.
You could have moved him back to CAG.
To block CAG?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dracula
I suppose so.
Land in CAG right now.
With a fog, and then Van Hel. If Godalming doesn't have if he doesn't have a forewarned, we haven't seen any of this game. But if he doesn't have a forewarned and he walks onto CAG, that you can feed there, and then you can
feed, draw out a little more time. Wolf Thorn somewhere, and pretty soon that's game.
I do think he probably has a forewarned though. I feel like he probably has one. He has 2 events. I feel like he sent him to CAG to deal with whatever he thought was there because he had the forewarned just in case it was a fog.
But you know what you can't forewarn? A vampire.
Double vampire? Yep.
Or even one vampire. Get a little damage through. Count on the absence of Lucy's revenge to see you through. You escape as a bat at CAG. Then you can move 2 C zones, right?
Mm-hmm. No. That is not how the game. No, you had me there for. No.
He can't fly as a bat across the water.
That's annoying.
Rufus Smith,
means that
better late than never, I suppose.
I mean, if his plan was to that does reduce the amount of C spaces by 1, right? He can't really go med now if he has because then he can't wolf form. So I think it actually is relevant here. I mean, not super relevant, but more so than non-C they had before.
Better than a blood transfusion.
Yeah, the blood bag that they were carrying around with a smiley face on it, saying, "Will you be my friend?"
In case of vampire, break glass.
I don't know if I leave Venice there. I think you want to sit on Venice so that he can't threaten to be landing there. I guess you also want to cover Genoa.
Doesn't that seem kind of crazy?
I think AndreZot might be at the crazy stage in the game.
He's desperate. Yeah, I mean,
if he goes Venice and he can fog someone in Venice, he can then wolf form and is he go the Venice wolf form would give him options here at least. It would make them have to maybe split focus a little bit if they guessed wrong. I mean wolf forming, to be clear, not wolf forming from Adriatic. Stay.
Right.
I mean, but if he's in Tyrrhenian, I guess you just land in CAG and you just pray that Godalming does not have the CG, does not have the forewarned. I think that's what you do if you're in Tyrrhenian right now, because you're not going med, not Rufus, and you're not going Italy because Valona being blocked ruins everything. So I feel like you gotta go CAG. I don't know what else you're doing. Unless you're in Adriatic, like a madman, and you land Venice.
The permanent token in Valona does kind of mess things up for Drac here, because you can't. I mean, normally if you're going from the Tyrrhenian Sea, you don't land in Naples or Rome because you're worried about CG and you have no C zone to escape to. But that's no longer an issue.
But even if you can escape Adriatic, he has nowhere to go, right? Like, the Valona being blocked makes Adriatic so, unquestionable. I think the only thing that might actually make sense here, right, is he lands, if he's in Adriatic, which maybe he's not, but if he one move lands in Bari, yeah? Godalming immediately checks CAG, because that's what I would do. You gotta check CAG immediately. He's not in CAG. He says, okay, he's not in CAG. He's probably, I think Venice is the next best option that I would be most scared of if it's not CAG. I would move Seward to Venice. You check Venice, he's not in Venice. That tells you he must be in Italy. I don't think you can pounce on him the day he lands, because you've already moved Godalming and you've moved Seward.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives him another day. And then you move to, you move to Rome, and you fog in Rome. where you move to Naples and you fog in Naples, and then maybe you fog someone who's not Godalming, and maybe they don't act. So I think Godalming has gold. That is my like sole read, is that Godalming has a forewarned, and I think that if you go to Kag and fog, he's just gonna forewarn.
So you land in Bari here, you feed, and then you just hope Van Helsing doesn't have sense of emergency and heroic.
I think you got to get to Rome or Naples before you start feeding, because if you feed in Bari, they just sit on Rome and Naples, and you have to move into them to get to a C zone. Like, I think you need to be able to feed and then be able to immediately go to C again,
Yeah,
even though it's rough with Rufus.
Maybe you go to Naples first with the fog, and then you feed there. And honestly, if he can pull that off, he's not in that bad of a spot. With 6 points on the board.
Well, like I think what's going to happen, he's going to be in Kag.
It's tough, but victory is not completely out of his grasp. If you're able to land, fog, feed, move again by sea, wolf form, by then you're scoring points and you're up to 9. So yeah, there is a path to victory here. It's just very narrow.
I just think he's in Kag, and he has a fog on Kag, and Godalming's going to move there. He's going to play 4-1, and that's going to be game. That's what's probably going to happen. Yeah, he has a fog.
Oh, it's
maybe that's better with Godalming at 6 HP.
Yeah, maybe it is.
If he can't get Van Helsing there, I mean...
Said he can't forewarn this girl.
Oh my god, if he actually kills Godalming because he doesn't have Lucy's Revenge, I will be so tilted. Don't do that, AndreZot. Don't make the play look good. It was.
I love when Pizza Wizard gets all excited, though.
It would be exciting. It would be a good YouTube clip.
Oh, he's mesmerized.
When does Godalming ever get killed? And then he doesn't win. Okay.
Do you plot here? I think you plot.
You think you're soul reading that he is going for the dodge right now? I think.
No. I don't know. I think all you really need, quote unquote, is the 2 damage. So maybe,
well, I know Heroic Leap kills the vampire before Godalming would die, right? I mean, I think if he has Heroic Leap, the game is pretty much sewn up. If he doesn't have Heroic Leap, options open up again. But the issue is, even if Van Helsing has it, he can just give it to him today, right? So.
Right, trade it right now.
But it would be cool if he didn't have Heroic Leap. That would make a more interesting endgame. Because then Godalming actually has something to fear here, right? Because he has Knife, Heavenly Host, Horse. I think that or those are his ends. I don't know if we ever actually saw him use Horse, but I think he did. So if those are true, he dies to a claw, and that isn't like an interesting combat scenario that could happen. The issue is he's probably going to have it Heroic Leap, but if he doesn't have Heroic Leap, he probably has, like, I don't know,
planned ambush, maybe.
Or a planned ambush, and then if you have a planned ambush, you're dead no matter what you do, because then the Heroic Leap or the Heavenly Host Knife just kill you because you're in 3, so you have no outs.
Yeah, good dodge.
My vocabulary, yes, he's pretty much dead. I mean, it's even if he doesn't have Heroic Leap, like even a planned ambush,
Trade.
Like the planned ambush giving it 2 additional options means there's 3 event cards that could have him dead to rights here. It feels like he definitely has one of those 3. Like if it was just Heroic Leap, maybe, but
it's the death knell right now.
Maybe he's giving him an escape route. If I eat enough copium, it's definitely an escape route.
It's Heroic Leap.
It's Heroic Leap.
That's the game, ladies and gentlemen. It was a good one. It's a good one.
Yep. It was fun Kag Viari movement there. That was fun. That was good.
A lot of speculation going on as to where he could have gone. And I mean, even with the Dracula era, the game was not quite as good as over. Like, yeah, things were looking bad, but things could have still took a turn for the worse for the Hunters.
Yeah, Hunters could have lost there. Dracula had outs, I think, but the path was pretty narrow, I think. Chasmous voids on either end after that Dracula era, because I think the Bologna permanent token just does so much work. Although, you know what? I think taking Lucy's Revenge is the wrong play. And I think that this game, you know, if Mina isn't able to move, maybe that makes a difference. You can't check all the Italy spaces.
Lack
You know,
of horse could have been a real killer there.
I still stand by my should take the horse there, but it's fine. I'm gonna stop beating that dead horse because it ain't dead. It was the whole
Very
game.
much alive.
Very much an alive horse.
Oh, he
But
gave
no,
it to his
good
father.
game to watch. Good. Oh, he didn't even have the fog. I think even the Dracula. I feel like Godalming is so likely to have a fog. It
Yeah.
feels.
Yeah. But who knows? I mean, maybe they're both buried. But
True. I mean, there was 30-something cards left.
I think honestly, you can't play around everything, right? So if you think he has the forewarned, you play the vampire, but then there's heroic leap. But if he doesn't have the forewarned, you play the fog, and then you don't have to worry about the heroic leap. So it's kind of like, which way would you rather die? To forewarned or to heroic leap?
Well, I guess with the knowledge that either a heroic leap or a planned ambush, I think it makes you maybe lose the game, assuming that Godalming does have knife habit, which I'm pretty sure we know he has. I would rather be dead to 2 cards than 3. I would go fog because 2 planned ambushes plus 1 heroic leap versus 2 forewarns. I guess there is some chance if he has a planned ambush, it's not on Van Helsing or Godalming. That is a. He didn't even have an option there, right? He was forced to try his best, you know. Yeah, and thank you for explaining that to him. Yes, chat. I mean, I think Scott's work here. He knows this already, but heroic leap does kill the vampire and then does damage to Godalming, and it doesn't deal damage to Godalming unless the game is still going after the vampire takes 5. And then Dracula dies, the game immediately. It's not like Magic where the whole card will resolve. We go line by line here.
Yep.
So. Okay, AndreZot. It's all right, pal. I get it. It's hard being 0-5. I understand. It's tough. It's a tough life. I'm like 99% sure it's the other way around, but it's okay. You know, there was a game. That's what that the beauty of this tournament, that we can answer all these questions. You know, in a loving environment where we have people that can help us out. It's great. We have a good community here.
Yeah, we really
I am checking.
A lot of good folks.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for joining me and for being one of those great folks.
It's great to be here. I'm also glad that it honestly doesn't really matter even if heroic leap would kill Godalming there. It wouldn't have won AndreZot. So it's really just a point dispute, not really I would have won the game, which is nice.
But in my headcanon now, Godalming had to give his life to kill Dracula, much like Quincy Morris in the book. Spoiler alert for a book that came out in 1896.
Man, so many people had to die to kill Dracula. Lucy died, Quincy died, Godalming also died. Who's gonna get his title now? He didn't have any kids.
Really
the title dies with him.
Who will be the next lord? What happens? Maybe Scott Sword can answer that.
He might have. It goes to his extended family, right? Does he have any brothers
There's gotta
or
be
cousins?
a next of kin arranged somewhere. Yeah.
They would find something, but
definitely. Yeah. Well, thanks again for joining me, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for asking me to be here today. It's a pleasure.
To have you. Always glad to have you on the channel. And with that, we'll be signing off, ladies and gents. Thanks for joining us for this one. Hope you had a good time. We'll see you for the next League of Dracula.